What up, guys? It's your girl Izzy. I am back with a brand new video. So yesterday I put a poll on my Instagram of either if I should do a vlog or a story time, and most of you guys chose story time, which I was kind of shocked. So today I'm gonna do a story time, and the story time that you guys picked was my car accident. So let's just get right into it. So November 14th, it was a Wednesday, and with the course that I'm taking at school, every Wednesday we had skating. So we would go to a skating rink, help the kids tie their skates and whatever, blah, blah, blah. And normally after, I would drop some people off at home and whatever, and then I would go home myself. Well, plans changed that day. So I was taking my normal way home. I just finished dropping off a friend. And there was somebody in front of me that was turning left, and I just wanted to keep going straight. So I was just going to go around the car and keep going because the light was green. And I didn't really feel like waiting. It's not that I was, impatient and was, super angry and was like, stupid people in Winnipeg don't know how to drive kind of thing, right? So I turned on my signal. I looked. I'm pretty sure I looked. I don't remember, but I'm pretty sure I looked, and I didn't notice that the car was, right there, if you can see my hand. Right there behind me. Excuse me. And so I decided to go. Well, the car honked its horn at the last minute, so I panicked, and I'm pretty sure I closed my eyes and I clenched. Oh my gosh, I clenched so tight, and I guess because I panicked, I stepped on the gas pedal instead of the brake, which is the dumbest thing ever. So then I remember hitting the curb, and then those cement parking things that they have kind of on the ground to indicate that that's a parking spot kind of thing. I remember hitting those because I remember my car bouncing. And so then I remember hitting the curb, the bounciness, and then the airbags going off, and my eyes, I guess you could say that I kind of blacked out kind of thing, but it wasn't I was still conscious, conscious? I don't even know what that word is. Anyway, so then I remember the airbags going off, and I remember just sitting in my car, and I had my foot on the brake. I haven't even put my car in in park or anything. And I remember just sitting there and just sitting there, and my hands were like this, and I started shaking so bad. It was so bad. I've never shaken that much in my life. My hand was like this. My whole body was like that. And because of the smell of the airbags, I couldn't breathe that in anymore, because honestly, if you ever pop your airbags, guys, it is the worst smell ever. I can't even describe it because how disgusting it smells. It's bad. It's just bad. So I remember after the shaking and kind of hyperventilating, in movies when they cry but they're not actually crying tears. I was like that, and it was horrifying. I was so scared. So I remember putting my car in park and just sitting there, and then I opened my door because of the smell of the airbags, because it was disgusting. And then I just sat there and I started hyperventilating and kind of dry crying, I guess is what you can call it. It sounds super stupid, but I was crying but wasn't actually crying, if that makes any sense. So anyway, so then I opened my door and I just sat there because I was okay, I was so in shock that I didn't know what to do. So I just sat in my car with my seatbelt on and everything. I was all buckled and whatever. And there was a guy that came up to my door and he's like, "Are you okay?" I was like, "I think so." He's like, "Are you sure?" Like, and I was like, "Yeah, I think I'm just in shock because of what happened." So eventually I unbuckled, I got out of my car, and I got out of my car, and I was still kind of like crying at this point. Like, I was actually crying at this point. And so so I got out of my car and I was kind of like looking around to kind of see like what happened kind of thing. And so I saw that the bus shelter that was there was all like smashed, and I was like, did I hit that? Like, I don't remember hitting that. So I was like, okay. And then of course I saw the garbage can knocked over and whatever. So I was like, okay. So then stupid me decided to go and look at the front of my car to see how much damage it was, and holy shit. I normally don't swear in my videos, but holy shit. I went to the front of my car and I bawled. I literally bawled. It was insane. Like, even just talking about it, like, I can see it, like, the picture in my head of what I did. So I went to the front of my car and I looked at it and I was like, oh my God, like, what am I gonna do? Like, how, like, I didn't even care, like, anything about, like, you know, the other people or nothing. Like, I was like, how am I gonna get to school tomorrow? Like, how am I gonna get home? Like, I don't know what to do. Like, I was so in shock that my mind was going insane. Like, I was thinking of things you shouldn't really be thinking of when you get into an accident, like, you know? So I was like, oh my God, like, how am I going to get home tonight? Like, how am I going to get to school tomorrow? Like, you know, because I rely on my car so much, especially to come to school, because if I don't have a car, how am I getting to school? Like, you know? And so I was like crying really, really hard. And it was kind of cold, and I was only wearing this jacket. So, I mean, it was cold and I was shaking, but yet still shaking from like the shock of the accident. So then I went and I saw that everybody else was kind of like by the bus shelter, and I was like, oh, okay. So I went up there, and the guy that I hit by accident or kind of thing, he's like, oh, you hit my car. Well, yeah, dumbass, I know that. Like, thank you. So I was like, yeah, I'm so sorry. Like, I felt so bad because I was like, I'm such an idiot. And I was like, I'm so sorry. Like, I feel so bad and whatever. And he's like, no, it's okay. Yet you basically gave me crap for hitting your car, but yet now you're saying that it's okay? Like, what? So I was like, okay, whatever. So then there was this other girl, I guess, that was, like, walking while, like, my accident happened. And she looked at me and she's like, you shouldn't even have your license. What? Like, bitch, you were walking. Don't tell me that I don't need, sorry. That I shouldn't have my license. Like, excuse me? Like, you were freaking walking on the sidewalk when it happened. Like, do you have your license? Like, please. So then I totally, like, I was mad at her because I was like, since when do you have the right to tell me that? And then, oh my God, like, holy crap. So then I kept repeating that I was sorry and that I was sorry. And then I saw that this lady was like crying and like holding her neck. And I was like, oh my God, like, did I hit her? Like, is that why like the bus shelter was like smashed or whatever? And I was like freaking out because I was like, holy shit, like, if I hit this person, like, that's it. Like, I'm done. So I think somebody turned around and asked me if I hit her or if she got hit or something, and she's like, no, I didn't. And I was like, did I hit you? And she's like, no, you didn't. Like, I was like, are you sure? Because, like, I was like, I'm so sorry. Like, if I hit you, like, I'm really, really sorry. She's like, no, you didn't hit me. Like, it's okay. And I was like, oh, okay. And then, so then the fire trucks were there and the ambulance was there, which I was kind of surprised that the cops never showed up, which was kind of weird. But I don't know. I guess it would depend on the accident, but I don't know. So anyway, they didn't show up, but the fire trucks were there. And when I got out of my car, they asked me if I was okay. And I was like, yeah. And then they were like, well, do you want us to, like, check you to, like, make sure that, you know, everything is okay? And I was like, no, like, I think I'm fine. Like, I think it's just 'cause, like, I'm so in shock. And they were like, are you sure? I was like, yeah, I think I'll be fine. I was like, if anything, like, you know, I'll let you guys know, kind of thing, right? So they never ended up checking me. And then the ambulance showed up, and the ambulance ended up checking the lady that was in the bus shelter. And I was kind of worried, because I was like, oh my God, like, if I hit this woman, like, I'm gonna have to live with that for the rest of my life. And so the paramedic came back after the lady was still in the ambulance, and she came up to me and she's like, no, like, you didn't hit her, like, nothing's broken, like, she didn't break anything, like, you guys are fine. And I was like, thank God. So I started crying even more, because I felt better, that, like, I felt really good that I didn't hit this lady. And then what happened after that? Oh yeah. So then I called my mom on my phone, and I was like, so I called her, and she's like, hello, and I was crying already, and she's like, what's wrong? And I was like, I got into an accident. And she's like, what? And you could hear, like, in her voice that she kind of, like, was, like, shocked by the fact that I got into an accident. And she's like, are you okay? Like, is everything okay? Like, da-da-da-da-da. And I was like, yeah, I'm fine. I was like, but my car is all smashed in. Because the way, like, I guess the way that I hit the garbage can, because it was one of those, like, stone garbage cans, like, those really, really heavy ones. And I guess I hit the corner of it, and the way I hit it, like, in the middle of my bumper. So basically, like, where my middle fingers are, I hit it, and my bumper, like, went in, kind of thing. So I was like, yeah, I just got into an accident, like, whatever. And then she asked me if I was okay, and I was like, yeah, I'm fine. And then I was like, but, like, how am I gonna get home? That was, like, for some reason, that was, like, my main priority of wondering, like, how am I gonna get home? Like, how am I gonna get to school, like, the next day? Like, that was basically the only thing that I was really worried about, because my car was, like, broken. Like, there was antifreeze all over the ground and, like, everything. So, obviously, I couldn't drive my car. And I was like, how am I gonna get to school? And blah, 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 blah. And Mom's like, don't even worry about that. Like, forget that. Like, she's like, that we can figure out. She's like, as long as you're okay, that's all that matters. I was like, yeah, I'm fine. But I was like, how am I supposed to get to school tomorrow? And she's like, Isabel, you'll be fine. Like, don't worry about it. And I was like, okay. So I tried to, like, and at this point I was more cold than in shock. So I was, like, freezing, because it was freaking cold outside that day. So I was like, well, like, what am I going to do? And she's like, well, let me call Dad, and Dad will come and get you. So I was like, okay. So she ended up calling my dad. My dad ended up coming to get me. And so between those points, I started taking out everything out of my car, like, taking all of this out of my car, taking out, like, you know, my extension cord and my brush, like my snow brush and everything like that, and other things I think that I had in my car. So I had to take all of that out. I had to stuff it in my school bag. So I stuffed it all in there and made sure that I had everything. Like, I double checked, and I had everything. And then my dad came and picked me up, and then the tow truck came and took my car away, and yeah. So then after that happened, like, what, maybe like a few months ago, I kind of had like a memory come back of it, and I remember seeing the lady's figure in the bus shelter. And, like, that's about it. Like, I don't remember anything else between, like, you know, that and hitting the garbage can kind of thing. Like, I don't remember much. And so, yeah, so that was kind of interesting when that came to me, I guess, is how you can say that. But I guess now kind of like the symptoms I get from it. If I drive in, like, a new part of the city, or if I have to take, like, a new route, I get the shakes. So, like, if I'm driving in a new part of the city, and if I have, like, both of my hands, like, on the wheel, I can feel it in my right leg especially, because it kind of, like, tightens kind of thing. And all I have to do is just lift, like, one hand, and I look at it, and I'm, like, shaking. And it's, like, okay, that's part of it. If I hear sirens, like, from fire trucks and ambulances or even cops, I panic. Like, I seriously panic. I get all, like, tense, and I'm like, okay, like, where is it? Like, and I'm looking everywhere to find out, like, where the emergency vehicle is coming from. Horns from other vehicles scare me. So it's just like, you know, little things that kind of terrify me. But I am trying my best to overcome it. I will get better eventually, of course. So yeah, so that concludes story time. I hope you guys enjoyed. Please give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. And if the bell icon shows up, please click that so then you guys are notified every time I post a new video. And I will see you guys next time. Bye!